Hello there, welcome. It's 25 years since The Office started, so we're going to watch arguably the best episode, certainly the most emotionally resonant episode of The Office, the Christmas special part two. Endings of things are always really difficult to write, and this was incredible. This was written by Stephen Merchant and some other guy. Uh, the name escapes me. No, I'm not going to do that. I was thinking of just doing the whole thing without mentioning Ricky Gervais, but this is the Christmas special, part two. Ricky Gervais and Stephen Merchant and Ricky Gervais. It was shown on the 27th of December 2003, and it is the 14th, I believe. Oh, no, is it the 14th? I'm not sure how many episodes. Yeah, the 14th episode of The Office. For people of my age, 40s, around 40s, I would say, I'm speaking for all of us, when I say that it was incredibly impactful in the way we spoke, the way we referenced it. It was something that instantly took off between me and my friendship group. It's something that at university we literally sat and worked out how to sing along and do the song, the Princess Diana one, and the Free Love Freeway, and oh my word, yeah, it was just right in our wheelhouse as sort of, I guess, early 20s people. I suppose we're at the point now where people are looking back as that as a golden era of comedy, but I suppose that's just natural to look back at those things. Also, you had more time to sit and ponder. I remember buying the script book. Interesting point by Martin Freeman, and the little documentary the BBC made, the Remembering Mackenzie Crook and Martin Freeman. I watched that the other day. I thought it was really, really good. Interesting that what they were saying about that, how the scripts are just verbatim what was on screen, so not necessarily what was written. So this episode is about I don't want to ruin it in case you're watching it first, but why would you be watching a 25th anniversary watch party if you wait, stop that dog. If you hadn't seen it before, it would be a strange place to start with me. This is about David looking for a lady friend to take to a party, and Chris Finch has a big part in this. Finchy, we've all seen people like Finchy. We've all been around people like David Brent, I suppose, as well. And this is why it hit home so much. I think it was such an innovative way. Well, not innovative in the sense of we've seen docu comedies before. We've seen Spinal Tap and etc. etc. But I think this was just so innately British. It was an experience that many people had shared. It felt very lived, and ultimately, it was just very, very funny. I'm not a massive fan of Ricky Gervais's work after Extras. I think Derek I just thought, oh, I know, I see what you're doing here. You're very cynically trying to, tug on the heartstrings here, and almost offensively so. And it just wasn't for me. That's fine if other people like him, and that's okay. I'm not saying he can't say certain words. I mean, he can't say the word Stephen Merchant, but this is, I think, for both of them. I've seen other Stephen Merchant things like Hello Ladies, and I wasn't a massive fan. I think it's a bit like Peter Cook and Dudley Moore, where they've done things separately, and some of those things are good, and some of them are not. But the things that they did together were amazing, and they just had that perfect alchemy when they came together as writers. Maybe took the edges off each other's sensibilities. I get the impression from what I've read and what I've seen, the sort of the pauses, the sensitivity, and the kind of some of those things seem to be more, the consideration, the slowing down side, and then the sort of the straight up funny stuff was more Ricky Gervais, and the stuff was more Stephen Merchant. I could be wrong, but whatever they did, they sort of took the edges off each other and brought out the best in each other. It is a kind of a shame that Ricky Gervais can't say Stephen Merchant's name, but anyway, it'd be good if they were just like, yeah, we made this thing together and it was really, really good. Well, I know Stephen Merchant will say we, but I don't know. There's a thing. I remember watching the DVD And as a thing, it's like How I Created the Office by Ricky Gervais, and now that's kind of become real, which is kind of weird. So what I'm going to do is I'm watching it on iPlayer. I can't find my DVD anywhere, but I've got the set that's got all of them, including the Christmas specials. But they're really, really cheap. I was looking last night. I thought if I've lost it, then I'll lend it to somebody. I'll buy a new one. Really, really cheap to get hold of. So when you see play, I want you to press play 2. If that's okay with you. And we'll watch the final episode of The Office together. So, yeah, let's do that. Okay. Boom, I'm back. So this is 51 minutes and 22 seconds of the Christmas special. Those big CRT monitors. So I don't know if there's subtitles on the. There should be. There we go. So I think, if I remember correctly, he's gone to like a dating agency. This was before the days of dating apps. And then he's got 3 free introductions, and he's then trying to work out a woman to take to the Christmas party. What's the worst that could happen? Could get one pregnant. That was funny. Mackenzie Crook saying he just went in and asked for a wanker's haircut. That was really funny. The fact that he had to get married while having this haircut as well is really funny. He just seems like such a lovely, sensitive guy, Mackenzie Crook. I like listening to Tim Canterbury. I like listening to Martin Freeman, and I think he's pretty one note, but he's a good actor. Well, maybe he's not one note. I haven't seen the thing where he plays a Scouse cop, which seems decidedly not one note. So maybe I'll shut up. But I remember watching him and thinking how cool he was when he like took Tim Lovejoy down a peg about wearing a Ramones t-shirt. But then I thought, as I got older, I was a bit like, he's got like sort of gatekeepery tendencies. I probably just liked it because I don't like the TV persona of Tim Lovejoy. But yeah, I thought it'd be like gatekeepery kind of tendencies. And I worked with somebody who was just like the cadence and the looks and everything. He was obviously modeling himself on Tim from The Office. And I tell you what, that sort of above it all thing does grind on you and come across as quite disingenuous over time. It's quite funny at first. He's quite a funny guy, or really cool and chilled out. Maybe he wasn't as likable as this Tim. But I remember watching this Tim and thinking he was the one I connected with the most from places I'd worked and people I'd been around, and thinking, yeah, it's one of them instances like, oh, I'm going to write a screenplay or something, that kind of thing. Like he's just really interesting. It's just really interesting to look back and see how you reflect on characters in a different way. Obviously, people like Finchy are always just universally awful, and you can look at them and go, "Oh man, I just so glad I'm not around those people or those type of people as much." I'm just watching the bit where the woman's like the office lady. I can't remember her name, but she's talking about how men have had obsessions with her and stuff like that. Because this is post Tim declaring his love. So yeah, it's interesting to reflect back on things. Like, for example, I think they made a good point in the documentary that the character of Neil, the boss, isn't as bad as you think. Of course, there's a pathetic element of Brent which makes you feel sorry for him, but also he inadvertently hurts people sometimes, never intentionally. Whereas Neil has the measure of him straight away, and is, if he kind of highlights the insecurities that you have in yourself because he seems so together. But I don't think he's unlikable, unless you're very insecure about yourself, which obviously Brent is. So he's out on his first date here. I've forgotten this bit. This is brand new not brand new to me, but obviously it's been a long time. Probably quite a while. So he's now talking about cleavage and buttocks. He's failing badly. Can we start talking about breast full stop? It's interesting that I heard that Stephen Merchant was saying that they would have an idea, then improvise it, take a part each and improvise it and record it onto like a dictaphone and then write that up. And it's interesting that can only be, I think, with people who are just so comfortable with each other and each other's sense of humours, be able to riff on. Essentially, what they're doing, they're doing improv comedy, so that's why it feels so real. I know that Martin Freeman was saying there's little moments, looks, and words here or there. This is scripted from, I guess, from improvisation between two people taking on those characters. That's why Gareth is like almost a proxy for Stephen Merchant. That's why he has the accent. I just find it fascinating. And here's Dawn. I know. What was it? No, it's something about waking. What's that joke in the first episode about waking up at the crack of dawn? And it's like, does she cry? He makes her cry, I think, in the first episode. Jeez. So she's wanting to be, yeah, I remember this. She's wanting to be a children's book illustrator. And I think that the idea is that Tim would be the kind of partner that would encourage that. And her, again, I think the guy plays her boyfriend. I think he's been in EastEnders and he's been in quite a few things, but he is incredible as that kind of archetype without it feeling like just a diss on the working class. It's actually very it's very accurate that, like, I think he's called Lee. He's like this he's just a very simple guy with no dreams, and that idea of having no highfalutin dreams, just happy with the life that they've got and kind of wanting, whereas she's got this dream of being a as an illustrator. So it's fascinating, really, that I just think the acting is so good because they could become really broad stereotypes. They could become really sort of awkward, like punching down, but because it's a lived experience, it feels very like spot on and accurate. And that's when the things really hit, because you feel this emotional resonance. You go like, oh geez, yeah, I get that. I know what it feels like to be trapped in a job or trapped with a person and not think that you deserve or can have a way out of that. Oh yeah, Gareth is the new boss at this stage. And give her a little kiss on the cheek there. Everyone's gossiping straight away. By the way, it's sad, isn't it, when you've got people who have passed away, such as Big Keith, which is crazy to think. It really doesn't feel like 25 years since it started, but then it would make sense. I feel like I'd watched it before I went to university, but then really got into it and got the script book and things like that when I was at uni. It's funny, when Martin Freeman mentioned that script book, I pictured it, and then they put it up on screen, which was really weird. And I was like, yeah, that one. Every episode is great. The lots of pathos and genuine emotion, but also it wouldn't work if it wasn't so bloody funny and quotable. And I do particularly like the Dawn and Tim playfully ganging up on Gareth is always funny. There's David Brent on his Nokia. Now, if you want to kind of see what this would be like without the perfect alchemy of Stephen Merchant and Ricky Gervais working on it, then try and go back in time and have my experience of going to watch Life on the Road at the cinema and being like, oh, this had a few moments, but it just wasn't very good. And it's funny because it had like kind of definitely people who, what's the name of the guy? Tom, who the guy from Phone Shop, who is obviously a massive acolyte of Ricky Gervais, and he's also I think he's in a lot of things with him now. But what's he called? Tom Bennett. Yeah, he's actually really, really good in Phone Shop, and really, really good full stop in everything I've seen him in. But he pops up in Life on the Road, and you feel like they waste him. You know, they don't use him very well. So David Brent is on the road now. Obviously, this is leading into the film in a lot of ways. He's like a rep, a bloody good rep. I love the fact that Gareth has to sit here between them so that Tim and Dawn can be together in the same room, but also because it's fun for them to. That's how they bond. That's how they connect through making fun of him. This is the if you ever had an enemy prisoner, would you have to search him? You know, you're doing a full like take him from behind, and if he's got a big weapon, would you sort of say, "Give it to me"? Just get it out myself. Are you coming up the rear? And she's settling, relaxing into this kind of natural flow of teasing Gareth. I wouldn't, and things like that where they're chatting about shoes. They're both chatting about shoes. You've got this kind of like little banter. They're just talking about shoes, probably Gareth's shoes. But I wonder if that was written or if that's just like, because while stuff is going on and it's been, and we've got the key characters saying certain things, everyone's got to continue working in this office like they're really working in an office. There's nothing worse than an old mum. This woman is appalling. The new receptionist. Keith, you're coming to the Christmas party. He did this so well. What's he called? Ewan McIntosh. And I always think of Scotch eggs when I see him. No kiss for Keith. Big Keith. Amazing. She's done a little sketch, a little drawing of him, and it's like a beautiful little sketch. And he's put it up on his computer. Huh. She's like, not very big, accurate. Your nose is much bigger than that. Thanks. Yeah, cheers. It's the perfect haircut for Tim because Tim is definitely an Ocean Colour Scene Paul Weller fan, Oasis kind of guy, indie guy. And when he sees this woman and she's got a chiffon scarf, he turns around and goes, "Oh, for fuck's sake!" That's the cruelest or the meanest he is. He instantly judges her on her looks. Oh man, it's like there's an element of real ego about him, where the fact that he thinks he's this amazing catch and he really isn't. Very awkward conversation. Oh, you can imagine filling in a form, all this. I mean, how successful is this kind of dating where you like a dating agency and you fill in all your likes and dislikes and then you pass on? I guess it's not a million miles. I've never been on a dating app. Don't know what those are like. They weren't a thing when I was younger. But wonder if it's a similar thing as they're like on dating apps. Is there like a list of the things you're into, or is it just purely looks and just swiping along? In which case, he would have. Clearly, he wouldn't have even got to the stage of meeting her. This is in just incredibly awkward. Sat on it. This is the second date. I think he's got three dates free. He's famous. He's still playing on the fact he's famous. Cows have got four stomachs. Do you know the Tim look? If you watched Harry and Paul's Story of the Twos, there's a really great take on The Office and the Office star. And yes, it is a bit cliched now, but actually, that was incredible. Just looking at the look of the camera, because you'd see that in things like airport and airline, usually air-based things, or driving school. There's sometimes lots of unintentional humour in these docu soaps. And it really is unintentional. I don't think that the editors sat there going, "Oh, this will be a really funny bit if I just linger on this person a bit longer or cut at this point." Don't think so. I think they're looking more for conflict probably than they are humour. It's funny that this is one of the rare bits where the documentary makers are talking to Brent, because obviously it's followed him after he's left Wernham Hogg. Recent photo. You're going to get her under the Trade Descriptions Act. Maybe she's got a good personality. She hasn't. Oh no. Oh no, she's going to be. Not talking about me. No. Have you seen the Harry and Paul Ricky Gervais impression? It's a really weird sketch, and it has Nigel Farage in it, of all people. But yeah, that's really funny. I believe that Harry Enfield saw The Office and said, like, that's it for sketch comedy for a while. Like, we're not, we're not on that peak. It wasn't quite what I expected. She says, I bet the photo he sent is him. I bet it's Ricky Gervais and his band. All the best, David Brent. Oh, it's a signed picture of him kind of lying like, oh, so funny. Secret Santa. Oh my word. Does anybody enjoy Secret Santas? I mean, it's only really hyped up and exciting when somebody goes too far, buys something that they shouldn't, that's inappropriate, or something very pointed for someone, or you get somebody. And this is the thing: there's a lot of transfers and like, oh, I don't want this person. Can I swap with you? And it's like fuck's sake, like. It takes there's not a lot of good things about Secret Santas, unless it's like a money saving thing between friends and you like buying joke gifts, then it's amazing. A voucher or a tenner in an envelope is what Gareth's gonna told everyone to get him. Here's Keith. I love the framing of this. Keith at the back through the Venetian blinds. I think the Venetian was. So what are you doing? Just thinking about Dawn? Not thinking about Dawn, actually. Hope you don't embarrass yourself again. I love the bluntness of Keith. It would be the third time the woman said no. It's funny. It's almost like Keith cares, and it's not often that he does. That character looks like he cares about anything. So was it under weaknesses? I put, what is it? Was it something he was allergic to under his weaknesses? So Lee's not bought hardly any Christmas presents. Great. Mm. He's not got a sense of humor either. I think that's the key disconnect between Dawn and Lee. Is that there's just no kind of irony, sarcasm, or kind of playfulness that she has when she's with Tim. That's why they're suited, not because they both see themselves. I don't think it's because they see themselves as this going for the both aiming for this better life, or Lee is beneath them. It's just they just don't connect in that way. Mm. Keith is an expert with the ladies. Men get turned on by what they see. Women get turned on by what they hear. Thanks. Oh, Keith. I very tenderly explain to them that I will guarantee them at least one orgasm, and then he eats a Scotch egg, which is minging. See, Tim's a nice guy because look at him fussing the dog. Just because he was black, and then he looks at the. Oh, here we go. This is a very Gervais thing, undercutting the public lionization of Nelson Mandela. Good company. Oh, he's such a cutie, black lab. Obviously, Ricky Gervais. I think he based the whole series on liking dogs. It's nice that he likes dogs. It doesn't make him a like a overall nice person. It's good that he cares about animals. It'd be nice if I feel like he doesn't really care that much about people. I don't know him. It's a bit of a parasocial thing, but I feel like he doesn't care that much about people other than himself. So Neil is. There are moments when Neil is a dick, but I think he's just all business and very clear on boundaries and behaviours and corporate stuff. Yeah, the regime don't like it, man. He's not allowing him to come and speak to the other people. Huh. He's undermining the regime. No one wants to go for a drink with him. No one really likes him. Oh, Tim's feeling awful. Tim's gonna have to go for a drink with him, isn't he? I think. Is he? I would break, even no matter if the guy was an arsehole. Everybody was kind of saying, oh, no one wants a meeting, no one wants a drink with you, don't even work here. I'll have a drink with you. And he's only done it to fuck her off because she was mean. he was probably going to leave it and let him just go. But the moment she said that about no one wants to see you, no one wants to meet with you, Tim's like, I'll go. And I'd like to think I would go before that because it just maybe the sheer awkwardness of it. But then again, I have worked for people like David Brent, maybe meaner, probably with a crueler edge. And I'll be honest, I wouldn't be going for a drink with them. Hey, night owl, good morning, Don. May I have some of it? Yes, you can have some. Yeah, it might have a bit of Tipex on the Jello, but hopefully that'll be okay. Tipex invented by Mike Nesmith's dad, I think, from the Monkees. So he's doing a Brent. I don't know why I said that. That feels like a very Brentish thing to say. So he's doing a nightclub PA, and he's throwing out things to people, and he threw yo-yos out into the crowd, and someone lobbed it, and it bounced off his head. He doesn't want to do any nightclub PAs, public appearances. For those of us who might not know what that is, well, I mean, I heard him say it. Someone threw a pair of Y-front at him, and he said it had Nutella or Marmite in it, smudged on the gusset. Ugh. Oh my word. Yeah, it's a bit of a weird one, this last episode, because I remember watching this and thinking, I'm not sure I want to see David Brent out of the office environment, but obviously he's lost his job at this point and he's a rep on the road, so you'll have to see him in different scenarios. All the bits that aren't the best bits of this are what become life on the road. And all the bits that are the best bits of this we will never see again, and that's fine. I think that's one of the strengths of British comedy. I'm not the first person to say it. We don't overstay our welcome. We make almost like a little perfect series and then we stop, with its Faulty Towers. It's a little bit more crafted, but yeah, these parts here where he's doing the public appearance, I remember thinking they're okay at the time, but it's all of the actual office or the office group doing something together. That's where it really, everything really hits home. Even if they're all going to a pub quiz or all going to a party, that's fine because that feels like the sort of thing you would do if you were in an office. But when it's like public appearances or Dawn shopping or Brent going on a date, it feels like we're out of the world that personally that I want to see them in. Not it's called the the Office after all. It's weird, isn't it? Because it's a little bit of sadism. Like you're watching people that maybe you've been around and you've not liked. So the difference is that this is funny, and in real life, it usually isn't. It's just boring, and the people can be cruel and mean, and it can be quite sad. There's occasionally like some sort of poetic justice that might happen. Something funny might happen to somebody who deserves it. A bit of karma, instant karma. But like I've worked in, I'm trying not to say the exact places, but I've worked in places where the boss was definitely a David Brent, even had the goatee. And he would play Genesis really loud and like dance around to it. He would like kind of try and humiliate the younger members of staff to make himself look cool because he was really insecure because he was the son of the person who owned the company, so he hadn't got any role through merit. So he was coming up with these ideas, and the ideas were always terrible. His wife clearly hated him. There was so much where you were like, "Oh man, I don't feel sorry for him, but I just don't. I didn't feel sorry for him, no, because he was mean and cruel. But I also, you had to like go ha, 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 because you worked for him and you wanted to just kind of go, okay, what is this shit clickbait nonsense title? No, just read the thing. It's a watch party. But cheers, thanks for that, mate. Yeah. It's a joke title for one thing, because if you've seen anything, like Ricky Gervais is refusing to mention the name of Stephen Merchant. I'm watching the final episode and I'm talking. It's a watch party. Obviously, I can't show it because I'm not the BBC. and I'm watching it on iPlayer and talking about it. I started at the beginning, synced it in, and people are watching it with me, hopefully. If it's not for you, that's okay. You can go. Cheers. Thanks, Gareth. Just think before you type, for fuck's sake. So, yeah, there we are. Just realised the comments are not automatically coming up on screen, so it looks like I've just had a rant for no reason. But yeah, I think recently, because I've had so much engagement on the channel and not all of it positive, I've lost my patience a little bit. I would like to say I'm quite a patient person, but like, and the comments section of YouTube is often an awful place. Not usually on my channel. Usually the people who comment on it are really just like people I know, really, because it's, you know, I'm not aiming to be Mr. Beast. So they're usually just lovely people. And we talk about things and we sometimes disagree on them. But if someone's just like, what's this shit? They can just fuck off. Like, I'm sorry, but that's not, I wouldn't talk to somebody like that in person. So if you wouldn't talk to me like that in person, well, if you would talk to me like that in person, I don't want to see you in person. And if you don't, then why are you typing it on screen? Why are you being such a dick? So thanks, Don. I appreciate it. Thanks for keeping me company. It's amazing that, like, as I don't, you know, as Don knows, I'm not a ranter and I don't usually rise to stuff, but. And it was such a minor thing, but maybe I'm just in a bad mood. I've had a lot of kind of really detailed comments on one video in particular recently that I've had to really kind of manage how I respond to them. And that's been, I think, one of the toughest things about being on YouTube recently is not that it's like going down a coal mine or anything, because I'm doing it because I like it. Obviously, I'm not getting money for it. But I just do it because I enjoy it, talking about movies. And at the moment, it's so hot, I can't take the dog out for a walk. So I thought I'd watch one of my favorite TV shows. So here we are. We've got the office party, and here's fucking Finchy. Again, Finchy is one of the most appallingly written, not bad, like appalling characters in, because it's so real. Everybody knows that kind of just horrible work, not really a workmate, but somebody who comes into the group, maybe a rep or someone delivering something, and that all they've got is like an absolute like awful personality, but they try and like galvanize the whole group and pick on people. It's a very like toxic locker room kind of person. Oh, and there's Lee shaking hands with Tim, giving him a bit of a kiss there in front of Lee. North to America, of course. I forgot that. Oh, they come back from America. She's called Trudy, I think, isn't she? That is the thing people do at parties. They have an awkward chat and then they say, oh, we'll just go and we'll come back. And then they don't come back. It's a thing I've seen. I was not a fan of. I went to a few Christmas parties in my time when I was working, and to be honest, I've avoided the last few years going. And I'm sure that these ones would have been quite nice because the people seem to be okay, but it's just such it's just so much social battery draining that it makes me uncomfortable just watching people on a TV show doing it. So he thought that woman was for a blind date for him. Okay, so this is a big thing. Yeah. So awkward. She's just stood there between between Lee and Tim. Making a living comes first. He's trying to encourage her drawing. To make money out of it, you've got to be good. Oh, so harsh. She looks so different in this, but I think Lucy Davis went to America to do a few pilots or a few. So I think she can. I'm not sure if she has some sort of quite serious illness, and I think that impacted maybe how she, like a physical. I think it's like a physical issue she had, but she did really well. She went over to America and did quite a lot of shows. She's great. I mean, this is about this is it's just amazingly cast. A pint of vodka. So he's got this lovely lady he's met, and she seems perfect. Thought they'd sent me an alky. He said, "Oh my word." He asked them ruin it. Oh, that shut Finchy up. She seems really nice and just like because there is I do believe this, and hopefully everybody thinks that. And this is what I found quite touching. There is someone. I do think there's someone for everyone. You just got to be open to it. And I do think that there's like um person whose personality just creates this sort of it just makes you a better person, like in terms of just more comfortable with happier with who you are. You find that person and you're like, oh, they accept me, and then I can accept me, and it's just a nice little and I felt like that when I saw this, like when I watched this over the first time. I was just like, there's an actual person here who likes David Brent, and that doesn't feel like some sort of weird reach. Like it doesn't feel unusual. And obviously, you know that he's going to say or do something to fuck it up, probably, but you hope that he doesn't, which is unusual because usually with characters like Brent, you're rooting for the downfall. And I don't think you're ever rooting for Brent's downfall because he's too pathetic. But at this stage, he's not so pathetic that things aren't funny. It's just this perfect middle ground. And like I think Ricky Gervais said this, you couldn't come back and do it now. He's too old. It would just be sad. So yeah. I'm having a good little chat here, and he's listening to her. Amazing. Oh, she's got such a good perspective on the things he's doing. It is there's definite moments in this that are touching. Oh, this new secretary that's Sanit's the tip. She's just the worst. It's incredible they can introduce these characters, and they're so good. Oh, and here see this guy went on. He works in the the factory side of it. He's the dad of James Jay in the Inbetweeners, and he's also in Phone Shop as well, I think. Oh, he's smoking where the baby is. She's gonna punch him in the face or hit him. Oh my word! He shot her down. It's like she's a bitch. She's a horrible, horrible person. But she's a horrible person. So Tim and Dawn are not feeling sorry for her, like because he just said we don't care about your baby as much as you care about your baby, just because you let someone toss beans up your muff. And they were just looking at each other's like beans. That's definitely it's weird. As I'm going through this, I'm thinking that sounds like something Ricky Gervais would say. The sort sad, I don't know if this is true, but the crueler stuff feels like I can hear him saying it. or it feels like a line from what I've seen of Afterlife. It's weird as well. He's in this weird phase of like, I'm saying the unsayable, and no one's saying you can't. I think maybe as you get older, it's harder to remain edgy. You have to try and find ways to do it. You can tell I feel like there's a Spice Girls song playing. Yeah, a Spice Girl. Two become one. Yeah. She sat behind her old desk and they're having a bit of banter. Dawn doesn't work here anymore. Gareth as the boss. What a world. Gareth Keenan investigates. Gareth loves being on top with fit men. If an enemy soldier jumps on one of your boys, would you panic or would you pull him off? That's the big question, isn't it? Would you panic or would you pull him off? Oh, they're winding you up, mate. It means wank you off. Thanks, Lee, for ruining that. It's pathetic. Oh, you see, he didn't know. He was making fun of it. He wants to go. It ruined their fun. So Lucy Davis is the comedian Jasper Carrot's daughter, which I guess is something that people mention every time she's in something. So they've come back from America. They're not staying. They're back for Christmas. Okay. So bearing in mind, at this point, Tim has been rejected by her a couple of times, but it's clear she loves being in his company. This is a really believable, and I feel like this is something that happens, especially when you're younger, in your 20s. Like, you can have an attraction to someone you're working with, love being in their company, love being around them. They make the day go shorter. They have make you smile more, and you just enjoy it a lot. But that doesn't always mean that those people are going to get together. And maybe one of those, usually the man, finds it really hard to let go of that. And I've definitely seen that. Know that feels very, very genuine. Not work wife thing, but like you just you spend a lot of time with these people, don't you, in an enclosed space, and it's that can be with the people that you literally it's the worst time of your life, or it's made a little bit better by the people that are around you. And Tim and Dawn make each other's lives better. Now that doesn't mean that they're going to get together. So you watch this and you think, well, it's believable that she just leaves, and he does it, and it's just sad, and that's how it ends. And that's why I think it hits you so much emotionally. We've got about 8 minutes to go, 8 minutes 21, and they're doing the Secret Santa, and you just think, okay, she's gone. And it's mad, really, isn't it, that this episode, it's the romance of Tim and Dawn that is the real centerpiece. Brent's whole thing, we get him this lovely lady at the end, and you hope that that's the last we see of him. Tim's talking about, the only thing you have in common is the place you work, but then someone comes in who you have a connection with. And Dawn was a ray of sunshine in my life, and it meant a lot. Weird that he would be saying this, wouldn't he, to the documentary maker? But honestly, I never thought it would have a happy ending. So she's unwrapping the paper, and he's bought a oil painting set and put "never give up" on the portrait that she did of him. He's trying to justify to himself. Is it, yeah, a series of moments, not it. Do you know what though? I cry every single time I watch this. And back then, when I first watched it, I wasn't as easily able to kind of cry as I am now. So it's going to get me, this for sure. Even Dawn's going now. The other thing I will say about this might be the whole. It's a wonderful, beautiful, earned, perfectly acted, written, directed moment. It might be why we have to put up with those cloying moments in Derek and Afterlife and anything where he's just like, better put something for those mugs to cry about. And that for me, it doesn't feel earned. It's not like, oh, it's like, oh, dead wife, you know. It's like this. I mean, I guess I'm judging it harshly because nothing you could do after this could compare to it. I do think Extras was good. Oh, Brent really likes her. Now, there's a moment here that always puts a lump in my throat, and you think, what a strange reason. But it's the Brent says "fuck off" to Finchy. Oh my word! You're so proud of him for having a backbone, for standing up to a bully, but also because it's took someone. Because there's a little bit is the jealousy of Finchy, you know, that Brent's actually with a nice lady. It's all of those things. It's just like, yeah, fuck off, mate. It's so cathartic. And a good chat. She seems so nice. She plays this really well. Just think she's only in one episode. She wants to see him again. They've got a lovely, innocent chemistry. He's so happy, bless him. And this is something that's happened without him having to be what he thinks a successful person is like. He's just been himself. So this is it. There's talking Finchy and this guy. Within the lead. Huh. Oh, he just thrown himself into this manly banter there. No dog with you today. Did you not just see her? She just left. Chris, why don't you fuck off? So good. I shut him down. Love it. Love it. Isn't it great when someone's bubble gets burst who deserves it? It's so nice. So we've got this is the biggie. This is the big moment. 3 minutes 22 left of this episode. And what I like about this that makes it really funny and at the same time is that Gareth's like commentates on what Tim and Dawn are doing here. She's come back in. Oh man, I can't watch. It's too much. Can't take this. Didn't realize this emotion was going to hit me. And she just goes up to him and kisses him. And it's this lovely. I haven't, not anymore. He's like, she's got a fiance. It's like, not anymore. But she does this thing where she's just trying to connect with him. And it's a perfect song as well, the Yazoo. Only you. And everyone's watching. And she takes his hand and she leads him off. And Brent smiles. And a lot of the people not paying any attention now. You're just watching them kind of chatting, and Big Keith bopping around on the phone for some. Oh no, he's DJing. Waving at the camera. This is it. Brent waves goodbye. Never noticed that before. He looks at the camera and goes.
One, a meaningful relationship. Two, a decent job of work.
And kisses Gareth.
To make a difference. And it was always that third one that stressed me, to make a difference. And I realised that I do. Every day, we all do. It's how we interact with our fellow man.
Talk about interacting with our fellow man. I feel like Brent has a lovely side to him. Is it as simple as saying that Stephen Merchant? Or is it all of Brent, Ricky Gervais? Or it can't be. I feel like, again, I think they take the edges off each other, and I think that's what makes it so great.
Say cheese.
Cheese. Say cheese.
Okay, just give me a sec. Having a bit of trouble here.
Oh, I'm having a bit of trouble myself. Betty, Jessica, the cat did a whoops in my beret.
He's doing a Frank Spencer impression. He's so happy to be with me. And then he looks at, and that's Frank Spencer, and then she took the picture. And he'd leave on a laugh. So good. Joel Beckett, that's what Lee was called. He's really great. Patrick Baldani as Neil, he's great too. The only thing I don't like about The Office, not a fan of handbags and the glad rags. I don't like any version of it, particularly the Stereophonics one. Even though I guess it works for this, but I'm just not a fan. Written and directed by Stephen Merchant and Ricky Gervais. Right, the last thing you say. Oh man. Extras is funny too, by the way. I'm watching the same thing again. Yes, I am. So that was it. We did it. We watched it. That was interesting. Wow, my emotional roller coaster was up and down with that. But I appreciate you spending the time watching it with me, particularly you, Don, for your support. Good man. But anyone who's watching this, thank you so much for watching this with us. Maybe I'll watch other episodes of The Office. Maybe not. Maybe once every 25 years. So I'll be... Oh, shit. I'll be like 71 or something. Yeah, let's all meet up when I'm 71. But not on the Monday. I can't do Mondays. I think I'll be busy then. But I might be available after 5. So maybe we'll do that. Oh, hang on. No, I know somebody who can't make it then. So, no, sorry, I'm just riffing on Wet Hot American Summer. Yes. Free blend bitches. Free BB for life. We got, yeah. Shout out to Larry. Shout out. Sound like Pat McAfee. Shout out Larry. Shout out Don. Yeah, it's been fun. This, I've enjoyed this. You're all welcome to a little bit of stapler jelly or Jello if you're in America. Jelly is jam in America, I believe. Yeah, it's true. I heard that on a thing. So it would be great if Ricky Gervais and Stephen Merchant worked together again and did something, but I don't know what. And also, I don't know if it's possible. We all change. Maybe I'm too harsh on him. We all change as we get older. And who knows what fame would do to all of us. People telling you how wonderful you are and giving you awards all the time. If you've had a lot of build up to that success where you've been unsuccessful, that's gonna mess with your mind. Look at how I dealt with one person saying something negative earlier on in the chat, just because I've had a lot of people throwing comments on certain videos recently. I'm like, it's hard sometimes, isn't it, to deal with? Can you now imagine that if like 1 million people had an opinion on this video that I'm doing? Now imagine if 2 million people did. Now imagine if I'm on the news or in, I don't know. So like I try not to judge. What I will say is I can only talk from my opinion and what I think. I find this really funny. I find extras really funny, and maybe the first stand-up special and the XFM stuff. But my main reason I don't watch Ricky Gervais anymore is just personal preference. I just don't think he's very funny. You know, and in the same way as when I was younger, I loved the Chris Rock stand-up specials, Bigger and Blacker, and all of those that he did. Certainly two big ones, and the same with Dave Chappelle. Love them. The last couple that I've heard, just not funny, and that's like maybe you lose your vitality, your common touch. I don't know what it is, but sometimes people might say I'm probably past my peak as well in so many ways. But yeah, I think as well as you get older, you'll get a lot of people attaching themselves because they'll see themselves in that person or attach it to a certain period of time. And it's a bit like the music that you're into is often the music you were into when you had the most amount of time to listen to it, which is when you were younger. Like it takes time and energy to try and open yourself to new music, new films, new comedy. But I actually do think it is worth it, and I do try and do it a lot. Yeah. I'm going to leave it on that one. I've forgotten what that guy was called, but yeah. Wise words on patience. Yeah, maybe I could be more patient. But yeah, maybe sometimes people. It's like I heard somebody say this today, and this is one for you, Don, that I thought you think you might like. So I heard a guy say this morning is like he was being interviewed and he was talking about his life in general, and he just said, I'm right in the middle of it. It's happening now, and I really don't want anyone else to mess it up. And I was just like, that is so funny. I was just like, I just don't want anyone else to mess it up. Like, it's okay if I mess it up. I just haven't got, the patience for someone else to mess it up. Yeah, that's a good way of thinking about it for sure. So if you're watching, if it's morning for you, if it's evening, if it's the afternoon like it is here, it's coming up to 2:30 here in the UK. Well, I felt like a DJ then. Then please have a wonderful whatever's left of your day. I was going to go for a walk, but this is going to sound crazy, but it's very hot here in the UK. Yeah, we get that yellow thing in the sky too. It's currently 25 degrees. And where I live is near the sea, so we've got wind gusts of about 9 miles an hour. But for people who live in cities like London, the big smoke, it's getting up to 29, 30 degrees. And I went to a football game in London and I nearly passed out, and it was 33 because I had the sun shining directly on me as well. But yeah, it's 31 33 in Manchester at the moment. It's I believe 34 in Madrid. So yeah, it's hotter here than it is in China. It's hotter than it is in China. It's insane. So I'm not complaining. It means that my house isn't getting blown apart by waves and storms. And but yeah, think about our furry friends who are like Marcy at the moment is looking at me like it's a bit warm, a bit on the warm side. But don't take them out for walks in the middle of the sun if you're watching like this in the middle of the day. Only mad dogs and Englishmen go out in the midday sun. If you get a chance, there's a bit of a problem with recording. I don't know what we're having, some sort of technical issues. My interview with the House of Hammer director, John Hamilton, is live, but it didn't seem to get pushed out to many people at the time. So check that out. He's a really interesting, learned guy. We did have a few technical issues, so you have to be patient with it. But I really enjoyed it, listening to him talk through his books and films. He's forgotten more about horror film than I've ever done. There's a lovely moment where he mentions someone and I quickly search him up to talk about him, and I search the wrong person, and he just goes, no, you're wrong there, Matthew. Which is why I do all my research before my live streams, and that was not a good idea. But it was fun. It's important for me to not feel like I know too much. Keep me in my place. My place is putting clickbait. No, thanks so much. I appreciate your time. I appreciate you all watching this with me. I am going to do a live stream of. I've just downloaded it. It's a charity version of The Room called The Room Returns, with what's his name, Bob Odenkirk. I'm going to download that, watch it, do a streaming watch party of that, so people can tell me that I'm clickbaiting them into thinking they're watching The Room. But it's all for charity. You can download it for £5.96 from Brando Crawford. He's called Brando, as in Marlon, Crawford as in Joan, and you can download that. It all goes to, I believe, 2 charities. One is about the arts, like helping people access the arts, and the other one is for people with AIDS and HIV. So that sounds pretty good, like a good thing to spend money on. And I'm going to watch that with you, and we're going to throw spoons at the thing. Also, a little bit of, I have posted this, but I'm in the process of putting together a short documentary. It might be a long documentary with all about The Room. And so far, I'm not going to say who, but I've got cast, I've got crew, and I've got super fans, and I've got some really interesting people all booked in to interview me. No, for me to interview them. That's probably better. All about The Room, and we're going to do a documentary about The Room. I'm going to make one. Cannot wait to do that. I've got a few little the way forward with the channel is going to be more mini documentaries, longer documentaries, and I'm really going to work on doing a really good job on them. My Troll 2 documentary is released on this channel on the 8th of August. It's already won quite a few awards. I'm very surprised and happy about that. But I'm aiming to get better and better, do screenings for charity, for mental health, and for cancer charities, particularly the cancer charity that helped my dad, which is what I did with my Nosferatu screening a few years back. But also for this Troll 2, I've already got a screening on the 8th of August, and the video is then being released on the 9th. So looking forward to that. So yeah, looking forward to getting. I'm thinking of doing a short documentary. Started reaching out to people about Peter Engel, Saved by the Bell and California Dreams, who passed away a year ago. So yeah, these are all on my list, but that means there won't be as many things on the channel, but hopefully the things that are on there are really good. Otherwise, keep an eye on the live section, because as long as I've got StreamYard, I'm going to be using it because it costs a lot of money. And in the words of Don, I'm off to get my day started. I have got some work to do, but I've already kind of done most of my work today. My day is almost done in a lot of ways, my working day. Anyway. Thank you very much for staying with me while we talked about The Office. You take care. Everybody take care. Don, you particularly take care. Look after yourself, your lovely family, and your lovely self. And hopefully I'll speak to you soon. And yeah, make sure you all have a lovely slice of Stapler Tipex Jello, and enjoy the rest of your day. This is the longest outro I've ever done. Pretty good. Take care. Love you. Bye.